faithfully delivering value, interpreting global great books. Hi, this is Sally's Book Club. Today we're exploring the book, The Nurture Assumption. Subtitle, Pan-Parental Upbringing Determine Children's Personality Development. This book has been one of the most popular works in child development and personality studies over the past decade. Notable thinker and psychologist Steven Pinker praised, for over a decade, this work has maintained its crucial position in psychological history, remaining an exceptional read. The book has remained a bestseller since publication. Its unconventional and bold perspectives have sparked significant controversy. The author is Judith Harris, recipient of the George Miller Award. The George Miller Award is presented by the American Psychological Association for exceptional psychological papers. In 1995, Judith Harris opened her paper in Psychological Review with this bombshell. Do parents have lasting influence on children's personality development? After examining evidence, the conclusion was no. 2 years later, this paper earned Harris the George Miller Award. In 1998, Harris expanded these ideas into the popular science book, The Nurture Assumption. In this work, Harris challenges traditional assumptions about parental influence. The nurture assumption refers to traditional beliefs emphasizing strong parental impact. The book argues parents don't create lasting personality effects and have minimal influence on children's socialization. And as Steven Pinker states in the foreword, this is a counterintuitive work. For parents anxious about ruining their children, this book offers anxiety relief. It also challenges adults who blame parents for psychological issues. If parental influence is minimal, then what shapes children's personalities? Now let's delve deeper into the nurture assumption. This book contains 288,000 words across 15 chapters. We'll explore through 4 key questions. First question, why doesn't parental upbringing determine children's personalities? Second, if parenting isn't crucial, why does modern society emphasize parental influence? Third, what truly matters if parental influence is limited? Fourth, what should parents do understanding these realities? Let's first examine why the author believes parental influence doesn't shape personality. The author notes this isn't radical thinking. Life examples abound. Neat freak parents raising messy children. Why do gender-neutral parenting approaches fail to prevent strong gender identity in preschoolers? Siblings under same roof, even twins, develop strikingly different personalities. Immigrant children adopt peer accents rather than parental speech patterns. These phenomena aren't modern. Historical examples prove long-standing patterns. Early British aristocracy famously avoided their children. Neither seen nor heard was the norm. Fans of Downton Abbey will recall, after Matthew's tragic death, Lady Mary's parenting of George defies modern expectations. The reality differs dramatically. Young George primarily interacts with governess and servants, not his mother. Their sole daily interaction, 1 hour during afternoon tea. For centuries, British aristocracy entrusted children to nannies until age 8. Minimal parental contact, especially with fathers, was standard practice. At 8 years old, they'd be sent to boarding schools, only returning home during holidays. Yet graduates from Eton or Harrow resembled their fathers, not teachers nor nannies. The author argues this paternal resemblance occurs despite minimal parental involvement. Now, this similarity stems from shared education and environment, shaping gentlemen's manners. Similar upbringing environments molded them into expected British aristocratic norms. This concludes Part 1's core arguments. The author maintains parental upbringing doesn't shape personality. British aristocrats resemble fathers despite being raised by staff, not parents. This proves caregivers' identity doesn't determine child development. Why then does modern parenting culture overemphasize parental influence? This forms the book's second major inquiry. We constantly hear claims about parents' supreme role in identity formation. Most parenting guides insist love and respect guarantee confident children. Others claim lifelong foundations depend solely on parental relationships. The author counters. This nurture assumption is surprisingly recent. Modern society assumes nuclear family is children's primary environment, thus believing parents inherently shape children's development. Nuclear families, parent-child units, are modern constructs with brief history. In reality, nuclear families emerged recently in societal evolution. Before modern civilization, children lived in extended families sharing one father among many siblings. With shorter lifespans, many children grew up missing one or both parents. For most ancient people, childhood meant hardship and danger rather than safety and joy. While parents always loved children, modern society intensified emotional investment. Educated, affluent parents meticulously follow parenting experts' advice, even participating in studies validating these theories. They forget these theories reflect our specific cultural moment, not universal truths. Some theories lack solid foundations, like castles in the air. The author critiques theories overemphasizing parental influence. The famous maternal bonding theory claims immediate post-birth physical contact creates intense motherly love. This 1970s theory spread rapidly because it aligned with cultural movements advocating natural family life. Experts turned to animal behavior for parenting inspiration. But the theory derived from goat studies. Are humans really like goats? Even deer have different postpartum sensitivity patterns. This bonding theory reflects romanticized primitive mother imagery. Modern imaginations depict primal mothers, squatting in forests, calmly birthing, gnawing umbilical cords, wiping babies with leaves, then resuming berry picking while nursing infants. The author dismisses this as nonsense. Childbirth has always been painful and arduous for women across societies. Few women delivered babies alone. Postpartum isolation was uncommon. Modern experts insist parents must provide neural stimulation for brain development. Talk to them, read books, show interesting things, they advise. Such recommendations base this on animal studies. Sensory-deprived rodents and monkeys suffer permanent neural damage. Second basis, correlational studies. Studies claim babies with book-reading parents and mobiles score higher on intelligence tests. But if humans required poetry and mobiles, our ancestors' brains would have been defective. Traditional infants heard no bedtime stories, yet learned survival skills naturally. The author argues smarter parents read more. Their children inherit intelligence genetically. We'll revisit genetic inheritance later. Some think the nurture assumption at least encourages gentler parenting. What's the harm? But the author identifies clear drawbacks to this belief. Chief harm, modern parental anxiety epidemic. Imagine parents believing every mistake dooms their child's future, living in constant fear of imperfect parenting, worrying a single word or glance might ruin their child's life. Ultimately, if their child isn't happy, smart, adaptable, or confident enough, parents bear crushing guilt and societal judgment. This concludes Part 2's discussion. The author argues the parental influence concept is both recent and scientifically flimsy. This nurture assumption fuels modern parental anxiety epidemics. Now we address the third question. What truly shapes personality development? The answer: peer groups, especially same-gender contemporaries. Why? First, evolutionary imperatives spanning millennia. Humans evolved as social creatures over millions of years. Group survival was essential against prehistoric predators. Thus, primitive humans learned young to seek group acceptance. Though no longer tribal, this genetic programming persists. We inherently crave peer validation over parental approval. Second, childhood as socialization process. Let's define socialization. The developmental process equipping individuals with societal norms and skills. Beyond physical growth, it's acquiring language, values, and cultural behaviors. For children, mimicking peers to gain social acceptance, self-driven adaptation to societal expectations. Crucially, this learning is self-motivated, not adult-imposed. Children don't model parents. They see adults as different species. When sufficient boys or girls form groups, socialization occurs within same age, same gender peers. How profound is peer influence? The author cites an extreme case. In the 1930s, Indiana University psychologist Kellogg and his wife conducted an experiment. They raised 7.5-month-old chimp Gua, meaning melon, alongside their 10-month-old son Donald. Gua wore clothes, shared meals and diapers with Donald, undergoing identical care routines. Surprisingly, Gua outperformed Donald in tool-using tasks, but Donald excelled in imitation. Humans mimicked chimp behaviors more frequently. The experiment terminated when Gua was 16 months old. Researchers realized Donald was becoming chimpanzee-like, biting walls, screaming during meals. At 14 months, Donald growled like Gua when holding fruit. By 19 months, he knew only 3 words but communicated fluently with Gua. This experiment proves peers outweigh parental influence in human development. Humans possess remarkable environmental adaptability. Contrary to assumptions, children behave differently across contexts. Behavior varies by age and situation due to differing social experiences. Home behavior doesn't predict social behavior. Children code switch based on peer environments. This contextual flexibility is biologically ingrained. Social adaptation occurs through observational peer learning. The experiment fundamentally challenges nurture assumption theories. Indeed, children behave differently at home versus school, demonstrating resilience and adaptability in varying environments. Harris emphasizes immigrant children's bilingual adaptability, maintaining heritage language at home while mastering English externally, effortlessly, code switching within a year. Note: English proficiency grows while native language plateaus, sufficient only for parental communication. When cultural values conflict, external societal norms typically dominate. Genetics also play crucial roles in personality formation. Our biological inheritance shapes who we become. This refers specifically to biological inheritance patterns. We inherit not just physical traits but behavioral tendencies from parents. Parent-child similarities stem from 2 factors. First, genetic predisposition inherited biologically. Second, shared cultural or subcultural environments. This concludes Part 3's core arguments. Children are socialized by peers, not parents, with evolution and genetics completing the picture. Having grasped the nurture assumption's central thesis, parental influence doesn't determine children's personality development. First, personality stems from genetic or cultural factors beyond parental control. Second, socialization occurs through pure experiences outside family. This naturally raises the question, how then should parents raise children? Does parenting truly matter? Harris clarifies, parental influence matters but differently than assumed. Now, while not shaping core personality, parents can foster environments where children thrive socially and emotionally. The author offers specific recommendations. First, equip children with knowledge to navigate the outside world. Practical home-learned skills prove valuable in social contexts, e.g., insisting on piano lessons despite parental musical illiteracy, cultivating musical appreciation even without professional success. Home English practice avoids relearning with peers. Second, facilitate peer group acceptance. Address exclusion risks through practical interventions. Dermatology visits for skin issues, orthodontics for dental alignment. Avoid unusual names. Choose peer-compatible identities. Harris's key advice: relocate neighborhoods or schools to alter life trajectories. High-achieving schools foster academic growth. Safe neighborhoods reduce mischief. The author prioritizes elite schools despite social risks, seeking environments where academic excellence is celebrated, not mocked. This mirrors China's Mencius Mother Three Moves philosophy. Finally, summarizing the book's thesis, parents don't shape lasting personalities or post-home behaviors. Peer groups shape personalities, but parents can select and facilitate group integration. the nurture assumption. Its greatest value, liberating parents from failing to raise perfect children guilt. Times Robert Wright crazed. Harris convincingly argues parents overestimate their influence. In our hyper anxious parenting era, this message offers relief. Harris hoped to ease parental pressures, though acknowledges limited success. Even her daughter experienced maternal anxieties. Harris quips, "Why expect to influence my own daughter?" As narrator and mother, parenting demands immense love, wisdom, and resilience. Harris's work helps ease tension during stressful moments. Ultimately, we don't own children, we only own ourselves. This concludes our exploration of the nurture assumption. Study notes below. See you tomorrow.